We down two. What you gonna do? You already know. Rushing for three. We gon' let it go.
It's good. Knicks win. Bang.
Yo, this a Knicks channel with a little Spurs too. What you expect family to do? And I've been told y'all what Castle was gonna do. Now we cover NFL boxing and some hip hop. Hit the notification so you can know when it drop. It's your boy, man.
Yo, it's your boy HardWiLL back at you with another episode of For the Love of the Game. Chilling with my co-host, you already know, Chris in the Stats. What's good, Chris? How you?
I am well. How are you doing?
Happy to be here with another episode for the love of the game. Give some game out to the peoples. You know what I mean? Talk about the
Yep.
Knicks. If y'all see the thumbnail, we also gonna be talking about the GOATs. They spoke out, so we're gonna speak about the interviews that Michael Jordan and Jay-Z had. We're just gonna touch on some of the conversation. Not much. We're only gonna be on here for a quick hour. And we're gonna start off with the Knicks. Chris, I know. It was a rough night the other night in the Knicks game. Rough loss. Uh Knicks fall to the Hornets 114-103. Jalen Brunson, 26 points, 13 assists. And I want to start with that. I'm going to start with that because I was talking to you about this. We had shows about, we talked about Brunson and we wasn't saying anything wrong. We was just talking about what we see. And you said actually you would just want to see how it would look if the ball started to move a little bit more. And I honestly got to say, I don't know. It's weird to me. Like, I don't know why I started to see Brunson moving the ball after we talked about that on the show. Because the whole Josh Hart thing, remember we talked about that. And then Brunson had a couple of bad games and he just happened to have a lot of assists in those games. So we was like, damn, we can't really say anything because even though he was off, he still did good because he had assists. So moving forward to this game, I noticed he had 13 assists again. But we said that this was my take. I said that Brunson should do what other superstars used to do. To me, how I looked at it, where they used to get their teammate involved and still go and get 20 and better themselves. So when I look at that and I see he's doing that, I can't knock him. And that's why I was talking to you about some things backstage, and I said I wouldn't get into all that live. And that's one of the reasons why, because of that stat. You know, that's a sign of showing that he's passing the ball way more. And if you get this many assists and you have 26 points, it goes down to the ball bounces. Because when you get the ball across court and the shot clock is running and you just trying to get into your bag, you killing time. And most of the time, you may not get assists like that. That's why you were saying, look at it, Will, it's working. I see the ball movement. Look, they need to keep doing it. But when I seen that we lost, when they was doing what not only you, but you suggested that maybe we should try to move the ball a little bit more. And I said, not only you, I said, because I said, yeah, maybe if Brunson try it this way, get them involved because they play better defense and they rebound. And also, they got plays for Mitchell Robinson. They didn't have that before. They wasn't throwing that many alley oops. I sat right here and said, me and my boy Pop always talk about you got to get the big guys involved and the other players involved. So that ball movement is Mitchell Robinson catching more passes and scoring inside. So I'm gonna pass it to you, but I'm just peeking at the stats, and only Brunson had 26. I'm gonna just say it like that, and we'll go over more
Ye-
stats a little bit later in the show. But unpack a little bit what I just said to you. I know it was a lot, but we talked about most of that, so you already privy to the conversation that what we had already. So just elaborate on what you think about that, because it's coming out now. Like, But this the part of the question I want to ask you. Being that it started to go the way you wanted it to go, because I said we, because me too, a little bit. I just said they do need to try something. It's like, how could they implement that in a way where it don't mess up the team? And I was like, if he get them involved first, right? But we still losing with him doing that. So what else do you like? What do you think about that? Like, I don't know. Like, that's part of the question. I just wanted to throw a question on there for you too.
If you really want my true, honest to God opinion, what I think about the whole entire thing pertaining to Jalen Brunson.
hmm And it's Saturday too. We don't never go on Saturday. That's dope. We on Saturday.
Yeah,
We don't
yeah,
really go on Saturday.
not really. I think maybe once or twice.
Right.
But so I think we need to rethink what is actually happening with Jalen Brunson. If you ask me, I see a gentleman
hmm
that's extremely burnt out and tired.
hmm
Um, in every way. I mean,
hmm
can he get the job done? Yes, he gets the job done time after time.
hmm
But even with respect to what you said regarding moving the ball, and it shows us the stats don't lie to us. The numbers show he did do that.
hmm
Didn't get us a win. We didn't expect the win.
hmm
Um, did it show grit for other people? Did it show that other people could flex their skill sets? Yes, it did. Um, but just as a perceptive person, I
hmm
feel that he feels a lot of pressure and it's
hmm
starting to show up in his face. It shows up in his gait, the way he carries his body, the way he
hmm
he he don't dribble the ball the same. It's not quite the same that the same way that I've seen it.
hmm
Um I think it's something that really should be looked into because I strongly feel that this is going to come out closer to the conference. So really, my
I think
heart
because the
goes out
I
to
don't want to
him.
cut you. I
I'm
want to
sorry.
ad lib. I want to
Uh huh.
ad lib with you. I'm not cutting you.
Yeah.
I think
Uh huh.
because the pressure went up after All Star, people are making a playoff push. But go ahead. I just wanted to answer that for
Definitely.
you to answer your question.
Totally. Yep. Totally agree with that. I'm in 100% agreement with you with that.
hmm
I think that put him in a different mindset where he feels like he has to overperform. That is very evident. That was the whole reason why we made the statement that we felt like he needed to pass the ball because of the feeling of I need to work. I need to, whatever feeling that he got. That's the way that I perceived it, right? So now at this point, he has the look of burnout. If you look at him, like if you look at his face, he never had like the bags underneath his eyes and he has like a cut that's like not
He had a
healing.
black eye. He had a
He
black eye.
did. He did. And
Yeah.
it's like the gentleman is 26 years old or 26 or 29. He's relatively very young.
Yeah.
So I think we need to rethink the way that we're utilizing Jalen. And listen, I get it. If it's not broke, don't fix it. But I can't say that in good faith because there's always room for improvement, right?
Yeah.
But I think that Jalen is just being overutilized. Yes, we cannot deny that he had 13 assists. I would like to see a game where he doesn't even have to start. I'm not even gonna lie.
You ain't never gonna see that.
I know, I know.
I
It's
mean,
just
I
wishful
can't. You know
thinking.
what? I can't say that though. I take that back. You know why? Because right now you see teams that already locked down they position in the playoffs, and some players aren't playing. They letting they other players play to get them ready. So
Uh
you
huh.
might see that for the last couple of games, but I know it's not a lot of games left before the playoffs start. So I don't know if the Knicks, what's the situation with the seeding. But you might see that, so I don't want to just say that to you like that because that's something that do happen with. But it's rare, as far as for no
That's
reason, they not. But I think I want to answer to some stuff you just said. Some of the problem is that when you a point guard that's undersized, right, and you the man of the team, you take a lot more responsibility because you're not only the point guard, you bringing up the ball. That's why you see sometimes they have somebody else bringing the ball up because of him utilizing a lot of energy. And
Right.
another thing, you can't bring up the ball and then go in your bag and then shoot. That just look crazy, right? But this is what the Knicks do. They Brunson give it up, he hand it off to somebody, run around a little bit, and then get it right back. You see what I'm saying? So it's like when you undersized, we can't bring a point guard in that's gonna take that load off him of being a point guard and focus on what he's really good at because he can't play the two. You see what I'm saying?
I
He's
do.
undersized.
Yeah.
So it's a problem there, but he's good. So do we have to add somebody that could be the point that got height that could play the two? That's a solution. Somebody with height that could play the point but could guard twos. That's somewhat of a solution. I don't know if we have that on the team now, but Alvarado was a pesty defender, but he's not enough height neither. So they just brought another guy that just played better, a little bit better defense than Brunson. But he got the energy to put in that effort because he don't shoot as much as Brunson,
Correct.
right? Yeah. Brunson shot, I just want to tell you this. Brunson
Mm-hmm.
shot 23 times. Carl Anthony Towns only shot 8. OG Ananobi only shot 10. Josh Hart, 11. Bridges, 12. Mitchell Robinson, 2, and he made both. Clarkson, 8. Diawara, 6. And that was it. I'm just reading numbers. You said numbers don't lie, so I'm just reading the numbers like it is what it is. Like, numbers don't lie. What we gonna do? He's shooting that many times, but like I said, okay, he was 10 for 23. Field goal percentage was 435, which is not bad, to be honest. But the problem was on his stat line, he was 0 for 6 from 3-point line, from 3-point land. And his plus minus was -6.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just showing you his stat line in a nutshell, and he played 39 minutes. Now, even though his field goal percentage was close to 500, right? He still was a -6 in over and under. You see? And
I
that
saw.
stat is the over and under is deep.
I saw.
I mean, I said over and under. I'm sorry. The plus minus is deep
I know what you meant.
because it's tricky. Yeah, I didn't want the people that are gonna watch the show not understand where I was going with it because it's tricky when somebody has a decent game and then you wonder why they give them a minus in that category. But I can't figure out why they gave him a -6. To be honest with you, because like I said, he shot almost 500 from the field. He was 430 something. Well, that's part of I answered some of your question into what happened. It's sad because these players on these teams, we're gonna have to run into these guys in the playoffs if we plan on doing something and some of these teams plan on doing something. The Cavs is playing real good ball right now. Hornets is playing good ball right now. Boston is playing good ball right now. So I just wanted to give that to you and let you
I've already thought about it, my dear. It's it's something that I'm thinking about. I don't really want to make a decision on it, or I don't really want to give a take on it because it really wouldn't be fair. But the way that it's shaping up, it's a little
hmm
concerning.
yeah.
It's concerning. I'm not gonna lie, I'm concerned.
hmm
Um, I'm very concerned. You know what? I'm just gonna leave it there. Because I'm never gonna speak negative on my guys.
hmm
Um, I'm only here to state the numbers and the facts and to uplift. But
Yeah.
from what I'm seeing right now, we need some help. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry to anybody who sees this who feels away. Really, I'm not sorry
You don't
because
have
I'm
to
just
be
I'm
sorry.
telling y'all that I think that Mike, Mr. Brown, like we need to, but I've been saying this. This is
Mhm.
I'm right on par with what I've been saying. I feel like we need to have a kumbaya moment and say, okay, are we all in agreement here with the fact that we could be performing better? Are we agreeing to that? Yes. Okay, let me get your take. And listen, I'm not a coach. I'm not a basketball coach. Ain't never been one, never want to be
Yeah.
one. But I know that's more of your caliber. But as a leader, I
Mhm.
know that when things are not working, and I'm not going to even beat this dead horse because I said this before,
Mhm.
when you see that you're in a deficit and it's consistent, you have to do something. Something that I saw that I keep seeing is no one is guarding the perimeter. When I see it, it just gives me the ick because I'm like, good and freaking well that whatever team it is that we play, that is a problem. Why aren't you focusing on the problems? You miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. You guys are not even trying. And it's
Mhm.
like, then, and I don't even want to like slam the gavel on that, right? Because
Trying on defense, you mean? Yeah. You mean
right.
but I thought you say you seen a little more effort on
I
defense.
did, I did, but against the Hornets, I didn't.
Mhm.
This
Nah, with
gentleman,
the Hornets, nah, it's different. I could
I
say
know it's I
what you
know it's
saw with.
different.
Let me tell
I
you what it
know.
is like, and I'm gonna tell you like real in-game stuff right now,
All
right?
right, tell me.
If you guarding somebody that you think you can't really guard and they could get by you, you're gonna guard them with a certain amount of space. So when they try to move, you can stay in front of them, right? The
Right?
Hornets got a lot of elusive guys.
They do. They do. I'm not
So
gonna lie, you right.
all right, let me give you an example. Say you got the ball all the way up there, and the coach telling you, get on him, Crescenda, get on him. Because you
Mm-hmm.
know he could shoot,
Mm-hmm.
right? As
Right.
soon as you get on him, he blow by you. Think about what I'm saying.
Go and catch him.
He's gone. It's NBA. Once he go by you, he's in the paint, and if somebody else got to come, then he could pass and kick. And then look, I'm just giving you a real in game breakdown, right? Okay.
Hmm.
The Hornets got look, Knipple. The Hornets got
I don't even talk about that kid.
Knipple. They got Miller.
Hmm.
I'm just giving you an example on the wings, and then even Bridges can hit threes on the wing, right? So once he get past that man that you saying catch him, this ain't that type of a race. The like once you know how close the 3 point in line is to the paint, right?
Hmm.
Only a few dribbles. So now I'm in the paint and these are pros, so they can hit that little shot right there. What happens is they draw more defense to them because you got to come up now. So then he could either drop it down or he could kick it to the corner
Uh-huh.
because he broke the defense down, and that's what you're seeing. Pop, pop, pop. So it starts with you got to have good wing defenders so you can basically guard him where he can shoot from. And then when he tries to go by you, you don't allow him to go by you. What up? What up? This shout out to Jay Borg in the building. Salute, salute, salute. Three capital S's. You already know, bro. Good to see you. I hit you up. Good to see you, bro. I was gonna call you, but yeah, I'm giving you a real breakdown of it. Like, I hate to keep doing this. Shout out to my nephew. He's showing you what wing defense is. I'm saying he's showing you what wing defense is. He make the dude you guarding, but it's not easy to slide your puppies like that. And then you got to think about our guards, Brunson and Bridges. Brunson and Bridges. Are they not good? Nah, they're decent players. They good
They
players.
are. They're good players.
Are they good defenders? That's another conversation. Bridges used to be known for a decent defender, but I think he's not a bad defender, but he need more help because how I broke down how the defense breaks down, right? It's gonna take more than one good defender. It's a collective effort. And then we had problems with Towns and we had problems with different players. You know what I mean? It
Yeah, I
has to be
do.
more than one decent defender on the roster because the defense will make better decisions. It's angles, it's sliding your feet, it's a lot to it. And Alvarado was a decent defensive pickup, right? But he's not tall enough. I'm not taking nothing from him. He's good. But we need players that we can say, get that guy. Stop that guy. Don't let him do what he's doing to us. And we don't have that. And if we have one guy, it's more than one guy that these opponent teams have. I just named three wing players that could hit the three, blown by you. LaMelo Ball kept going down, hitting threes from like 4 steps from the 3-point line. I wanted to turn. He
Listen,
kept going like this.
I'm
I
really
said,
trying so hard to keep my composure because I am just thinking about how it looked. It was
yeah,
it I
it was, yeah.
it was disgraceful. Disgraceful is kind of hard.
The Knicks
No,
fans
no.
that was in Charlotte, they couldn't even show out that night. They had to hide. They like, cause you know the Knicks fans be in Charlotte. They live in Charlotte.
I know.
Charlotte never used to be lit like that. Now they fans are starting to vote for them because they
You
good. They
see,
went on a win
yeah.
streak.
You saw what the baby did over there?
He
And listen, I ain't even mad at him. Kid, that's his hometown, whatever. And
he spanked the Knick jersey with a belt. I
he
said,
did. He did. He did that.
where the
Like,
Knick fans at? Where they ain't run down there?
come to the garden
Y'all
and do
so
that. Come
nah.
to the
I ain't
garden and do
see.
that.
Nah, he will, Chris.
Well,
He will.
he will get dealt with. But
I don't know. I don't know what Fat Joe gonna say.
you
Yo,
don't know?
yeah.
You don't know? I'm not talking about Fat Joe. Respect and peace and love to the impeccable Fat
Only
Joe.
reason I
I'm
said
not
Fat
talking
Joe
about him.
is because only reason I said Fat Joe is because I know the baby, right? The
Uh-huh.
baby is somebody who caught a body in Walmart before
Oh
he even
no.
became a
I
rapper.
know him too. I know him too.
So
I know his
he a little
he's
with
he a
the
menace.
bullshit. Right. So he ain't gonna be scared to smack a Nick jersey in the garden. I'm just
He
saying.
shouldn't. He shouldn't.
He shouldn't try it though.
Shouldn't.
Oh, that's funny.
Anyway,
I forgot about that one. He did. He spanked the Knicks jersey and he did the old school.
like I'll whoop your A. Mm-hmm.
No, it's called belt the ass.
Mm?
He was doing the belt the ass to us.
Yeah,
Damn.
we from the
So
neighborhood. I,
Jalen
I was
Brunson.
trying to be.
So Jalen Brunson, how you feel about that, bro? Carl Anthony Towns. How you feel about that, bro? I don't like it. And I ain't even play. I'm just a fan. And I cover the Knicks. But I don't like it because that's how the game look. It's not like somebody gonna do the belt the ass on you and they wasn't really putting belt the ass on us. I'm just saying, let's keep it a
No, they
bean.
really did do it.
So, and we ain't gonna talk too much longer about that.
My
Let me
dear
see how much time.
co-host,
Oh, we almost did 30 minutes too. That's
we
great.
did.
See?
May I just give my stats, please?
Sure. Give your stats on the game. We need to. I already
Okay,
forgot to ask you because I was getting a little bit upset. Let
it's okay.
me give one round of applause for that little conversation right there about the belt to ass. That was funny. Even though it happened to us, you still got it. You can't. You know what I mean? You can't be a spoiled loser. You know what I mean? You gotta take
Um,
your losses on the
I am a
chest.
sore loser.
Can't
You
be a
did? Did you
sore
did you
loser.
see my little rant that I had on my live?
I watched some of it. I said
Okay.
she's really
How you
mad.
felt about it?
I said you was mad. I could see it. I said she's a passionate fan. She got to talk about this shit. So she's just talking how she feels on her live. It's a live, so it's like it's how I feel in the moment. So I was like, I
Hmm.
said to you, "Oh, Chris, you was just being dramatic." I was like, "Nah, she was really mad, like real shit. Like
I was
I take that
stressed.
back." Yeah, Knicks pissed her off.
They did.
But
It's
I
disappointing to
told
see.
you, I don't want to say this, but it's true. And
I know
I
what you're
said
gonna
I don't.
say.
I said I didn't think they was gonna win.
You did.
And I normally don't say that live about my opinions, because that's like when I bet and I bet against my team because it's money. It may sound crazy, but
Nope, it
sometimes
don't.
the Knicks spread be stupid and you know better than that. So I'm just
Mm-hmm.
giving you an example, right? I knew they wasn't gonna win the freaking game, but just like when people say the Knicks gonna win a championship, and I say I don't think so, I'll be right at the parade just as happy as the people that predict it, because I'm a loyal fan. I've been there when we was losing, and a lot of people that wasn't supporting wasn't even around. Where you been? Like where they been? They back now, but anyway, that's besides the point. I think we're
Uh,
gonna be all right. Do you know who we playing in the first round?
what was it? Pistons?
Salute. Hood. No,
I
I
think it
don't
was
think
the
we can't.
Pistons.
No, we're
I
not
believe
playing
it
the Pistons
was.
in the first.
No,
No, the
don't.
Pistons
What,
is
what
the
am I
number one.
saying?
No, we
Um,
two, right? Let me look at it. I'll
we
tell you right now.
we're three.
Oh, we three, right? Okay.
We're three. It's
Okay. So
Pistons,
yeah, after
Celtics,
that we
then
could get up
us.
out of here. After this, we could get up out of
You want to let me get my stats?
here. Yeah, sure. Give them. Then I'm gonna tell you this after this. You ready now?
Yes. Okay,
Crescenda
my good
stats.
people.
Crescenda stats. Send stats. Even though
Thank
you
you so
shouldn't want
very
to read
much.
these stats, they piss you off. I had to
It's my
think about that.
job.
I said, right,
It's my job.
right.
All right,
Go
here
ahead.
we go. Team stats overall. Knicks 42 out of 82, which is 51%. Hornets 4178, 53%. Knicks 3-pointers 1129, 38%. Hornets 1641, 39%. Free throws. Knicks 8 out of 9, 89%. Hornets 1620, 80%. Rebounds. Knicks 30. Rebounds. Hornets 52. Offensive rebounds. Knicks 5. Hornets 12. Assists. Knicks 26. Hornets 28. Steals. Knicks 8. Hornets 5. Blocks 2. Knicks 4. Hornets. Turnovers. Knicks 10. Hornets 18. Points in the paint 48. Knicks. Charlotte's 44. Second chance points 9 Knicks, 16 Hornets. Fast break points 7 Knicks, 15 Hornets. Points off turnover 17 Knicks, 13 Hornets. Biggest lead 2 Knicks, 21 Hornets.
Mm,
I
that's
said it
what's
with
up.
my chest. That's my aggression. I'm not saying anymore.
Okay. Well, it looks like the Knicks may face the Hawks in the first round of the playoffs. Just to let y'all know, for whoever's listening, in the rewatch game, whoever need those stats and like to know things like that, you got the numbers. And it looks like they may play the Hawks, and the Cavs may play the Raptors. Boston looks like they're gonna play Detroit. That's why you probably said that, because I thought they was two, but they are three.
I
And
was looking at
Philly,
something. I'm sorry, excuse me. I don't mean to interrupt you. I was looking at some sort of chart, and
hmm
that was what I had seen. So that was the reason why I said it.
no, it's okay. In the West, the Spurs and OKC in round one. That's gonna be spooky. Ooh, sheesh.
My man said spooky.
Lakers and the
I don't even
Rockets,
get scared.
Denver and the Wolves, Phoenix and the Clippers, and Portland and Golden State. I think that might be the plan. That's looking like the first playoffs matchups in the East and the West. And that's it for tonight on the Knicks game. We don't really have too much. Uh,
Next game is
I'll let you
tomorrow,
guys know.
guys.
Yeah,
OKC
we play
Thunder,
OKC.
7:30.
Right. What you think about that game? Think we gonna win the game?
I don't.
No, I think we are. One thing about the Knicks,
Hope we do.
they are resilient, and we play better against better teams sometimes. You know, the Knicks won the cup this year.
Hmm.
They are World Cup champions. We forget, right? So we got to
We do.
remind
We
ourselves
do.
too.
You're right.
You
You're
know,
right about that. We're gonna give them
because we
that.
got a lot to be happy about being a Knicks fan. to be
Give
honest.
them their flowers for that.
Yeah, because they were bad for so long, you know. They beat the Spurs in the cup, right?
Hmm.
That's not easy to do. So
It's
I'm gonna give
not.
them I'm gonna give them a little love for doing that. Oh my bad.
You love that one.
Nah, sometimes you deserve that. You deserve that Chinese music,
You deserve them
Chinese
harps.
Chinese massage music.
All
All
right.
right, that's about it with the Knicks, man. I think they could beat OKC though tomorrow. OKC is negative 8.5 if you are better. And that's about it on the Knicks, man. We only got a few more games. I'll let y'all know right now how many games we got just to give y'all some more information.
Is it 12?
Let's see. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. 8 games. And we play the Hornets again.
What?
So we play
Why did
Thunder,
I think
Rockets.
12?
One, two, three, four. Yep. We play Thunder, Rockets, Grizzlies, Bulls, Hawks, Celtics, Raptors, and Hornets again. So out of
Okay.
those games, the Thunder's gonna be a good game. The Rockets is gonna be a good game.
Mm-hmm.
Can't
Mm-hmm.
sleep the Grizzlies. Can't sleep the Bulls, but we should win those games. Hawks been playing really good ball right now. Celtics been playing good ball right now.
Yes, they have.
And the Hornets is playing good ball. So and we looking tired, so I don't know how we gonna sit anybody
I mean,
and rest
if we're
because
being
it's too close.
positive, right?
Yeah,
If we're being positive, it looks like it could be split, or like if we're good, s- maybe 5-3 to me. And I'm gonna
yeah,
reserve my comments until they
yeah.
get
We
there.
should be
But
good.
if we're good, but the way that it's looking now.
Now we
But
bounce back
again,
though. I give them
we
that.
do, we
They
do.
do
That's
bounce
that's
back.
what we do. We New
They
York.
bounce back. The Towns got to get more shots. I don't like that 8 shots he had. He was 5 for 8, so he got to get more shots for sure. All right, we moving right along. Let's move over to the GOAT conversation. Michael Jordan and Jay-Z both did an interview, and they both said some interesting things, and we felt like it was juicy enough for us to want to rehash on it, have a conversation about it. We're gonna start with Jordan. Jordan had an interview, and he was asked about the GOAT conversation. And my take ain't gonna be too long, really, because I told you my take always been that, any player that designed his whole game after mine, watched me on TV as a kid, he could never be a GOAT over that person. Just to be clear, how I always looked at the GOAT, the meaning of a GOAT. And LeBron, like I mentioned to you, right? All the technology and how the game evolved. If the game evolves, of course LeBron is supposed to do more things. You see tall players have handles now and can hit threes. You watch
Mm-hmm.
basketball from back then, they didn't really do that like that. So
Mm-hmm.
so that's just another example how the game has evolved. Look at Wimbenyama. Look at all this stuff. So Jordan is like a person, one of the first that I've seen in my lifetime do what he did. And I had the opportunity to see a lot of that and to see all the players that came after that. And I understand why some people say that nobody's better than Mike. And once you put in fact of what I said first about they trademarked their game after Mike, LeBron, the Kobe's, whoever, right? There's no way you could be a GOAT over Mike. Like, let's just be clear. It's not about your accomplishments because you playing in a different time and you wouldn't be able to accomplish those goals if you didn't see Mike. And Mike was so special. Some stuff he did, nobody never did. And yeah, another good example is the amount of rings Mike got. It's like the NBA guards are funny. The NBA guards made sure he got one more ring, and LeBron about to retire. So the NBA guards made sure that it didn't go a certain way. Like I said to you, Chris, he could have all that most play games. most points, but the NBA guards made sure he still ain't get that extra ring for whatever reason. That just stamps it even more. LeBron is great. Kobe is great. We're not taking away nobody's greatness. It just goes in order. He's like the sensei. He's y'all sensei. Y'all, he taught y'all because y'all watched. Y'all watched. And my last point is gonna be this. Now these kids can watch YouTube and practice moves over and over again. Me personally, I used to dribble and go watch one game that came on, like a college game, and have to go outside and emulate those moves because we didn't have social media or YouTube to keep practicing moves. I'm from New York City. We made up moves. We made the moves that a lot of moves is being done today. And it's like the NBA was a little like playing chips. You know what I'm saying? They
Mm-hmm.
made players from the hood go to the Harlem Globetrotters that really play like that until they want to make the NBA a little flyer. And you know what I mean? They wanted barbecue chips, you know what I'm saying? And then that's why you see the NBA. Because really, when Iverson came in and he was doing the carry and the refs didn't call carry no more, it was like they was entertaining that the game be more entertaining. That's a
Right.
good way to put it. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Mm-hmm.
like the game evolved a whole lot. Mike was the flyest when it come to, you know, thanks, I appreciate that. I appreciate you. Mike, back then you didn't see too many people fake this way, spin back this way, and just dunk on a big man. You know what I'm saying? Or Mike
Mm-hmm.
was going through his legs like this and then just slap the J on you. Or how many times Jordan pulled up at the line for the win on Russell for the big games, sending people home, sending people. And this, and I said this is my last, but this is really my last take. Jordan had to go through Detroit first. People don't always remember that. He had to go through the same thing. And Isaiah was the man before that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like even
Mm-hmm.
though he didn't design his game after Isaiah, he was totally different because they're not the same type of player. They was the ones that the kids, like LeBron wasn't even probably like really he was a baby if he was even born. Of course he saw them, but you know what I'm trying to say. So
I
you
do.
guys can't ungo MJ. And that's it. Y'all should never even entertain that. And I'm glad I thought about a couple other things because the game has really evolved. You know what I'm saying? A lot.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Chris, what
Yes.
you think about that?
Well, it's interesting because when you listen to Michael Jordan speak, he
Mm-hmm.
humbly states that he does not feel as if he is the GOAT himself. He
Mm.
credits his predecessors, such as Wilt Chamberlain and Jerry West. So he
Mm-hmm.
feels as though, and I understand, and I think he has a
The
different
same
mindset
thing.
because
No, that's the same thing, Chris. Yeah,
that's
I ain't
exactly
cutting you.
what we're saying.
Right.
He feels like he had to study. He was a student of this pyramid, right? So
Right.
he's not going to disrespect them and take
Right.
away from what he valued in them and what he took and created. Now, to your point though, with us trying to undo like what makes someone great or like what the standard is, I do agree with you with that because what is the logo that we're seeing now on people's jerseys? It is Michael Jordan. Like, let's just be clear about it. Um, Michael Jordan is of such kind character that he won't take that. And I love a humble man that understands and knows, it's not about that. As you said, it's evolving. But let's understand and know that you guys know that you have advantages now that Michael Jordan and the other gentleman that I named did not have. Like you said, you yourself as a basketball player, you looking at one ball game, you're studying these moves, and then you're going out there, you're playing hard, you're playing in a concrete, and you're making them up as you go. And I think when you come from that era, you cannot you can't even think of really millennials, and I'm not slighting myself because I am a millennial. None of us
Mm-hmm.
can really contend with that type of mentality, the grit.
Yeah.
The only person who I really think could really contest it would be Kobe Bryant because of his mentality, not because of his
Yeah. The
accolades,
Mamba
but
mentality. Yeah, yeah.
the
Facts. Yeah.
mentality,
I agree. That's a
how
good
he
take.
held himself
That's a good take.
accountable
But
and
he got that from
removed
Mike,
himself.
Chris.
He
Chris, when he
did.
got that,
He
yeah, they
did.
all took something from Jordan. Jordan
They did.
was lethal. I see. A
S-
lot of these kids didn't really get to see enough Mike.
They
But
didn't.
their
That's what I was
advantage
getting
is that
to.
they have YouTube. Oh, go ahead, finish. I'm sorry.
Mm-mm.
I just wanted to throw that in. That was an ad lib. They have YouTube where they could go and look.
Yeah.
You still got your take. Go ahead, finish.
Exactly. You guys have reference, whereas, you know, yes, there was reference, as I previously said, but it wasn't the same. It wasn't him with a device in his hand and him studying like how you guys are doing now. The technology is altogether different. Right now, we have technology that is so dystopian, and it's actually not, that it helps you perform
Perform.
better. So
Right.
when you are telling me about, oh, this one is greater because they did this amount of shots, nah, it sounds to me like you just were having a great game. Like, I'm talking about overall in your career. You can, well, for me, like you said, it's like a sensei. I remember, I used to be in karate school, real quick story.
Yeah.
And my sensei would always say to me, Crescenda, I'm gonna make you great. You're gonna be Crescenda the Great. And I was like, I just could not ever see myself as that. And
Mm-hmm.
the reason why I felt that way was because he was my example. He was who I felt was great. I said to myself, there's no way that I could supersede him because he taught me. Now
Mm-hmm.
he did encourage me to go out and look at others and
Mm-hmm.
study, but I didn't have the same respect because they weren't pouring into me. They weren't the ones, they didn't have what I thought that it took to be great. It was my sensei.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
besides that, I was under his tutelage. So, of course, I'm going to take the moves and the structures. And you can clearly see a lot of these guys, they are Jordan coded. So it sounds
They
kind of
try
like
to be.
wonky to
They try to
me.
be.
You,
They try to be.
it's
They try to
wonky
be.
for you to even think. And I'm not saying, let me just go on record and say this. I'm not saying that there aren't circumstances where we see a student excel the teacher or the sensei. I'm not saying that. But this is not that circumstance.
No, I don't
And I'm
think
going to
they excel.
stand on that.
Nah, Chris, look, hold on. Let me tell you this. I don't think they excel. You leaving? All right, Joe. I don't think they excel. Love you too. I don't think they excel over them, I meant to say. Because I don't think I think that they elevate in reference to what you said already about the equipment and everything. They just develop. That's a better way to put it.
Hmm. Hmm.
They develop because they sensei is already older, right? That's the point of using the example of a sensei.
Correct.
Right. So they just develop in a different time when you incorporate all the equipment, even drinks, everything,
But we have
medicine,
to say it
doctors.
right. It makes a difference, though. It
But look
makes a
at this one
difference.
though. Go ahead. What makes a
It makes a
difference?
it, what you just said.
Yeah,
The
the
technology
time.
that's
Time.
behind it.
Yeah.
The time.
Time.
We
Yeah.
didn't have. At least I'm not privy to it. The things that we have now, like the mechanisms that we see these athletes in, and the things that they're doing. Like,
Yeah.
let's just like the conversation almost seems like beneath us because it's like, excuse me,
Yeah.
relatively speaking to the fact that we were there and we were able to see how Jordan performed, his accolades, his
Yeah.
disposition,
Yeah.
everything. And then now with what we're looking at now, it's not the same.
Mm-mm. It's not. It's not.
It's not the
It's not.
same. And I think
But
that when
everybody know
people
that though. Not
understand,
everybody know your take. I think the world. I'm not talking about your take. I'm saying like in general, people
uh-huh,
know that. I think that's what we stand on. That's like the top of the top. Like, and another thing I wanted to say to you that put the icing on the cake on this take on the whole conversation is that if you watch basketball back in the days, right? It was hand touching. It was fights. It was
contact sport.
the refs call a lot more fouls than they did when Michael Jordan played. Let's
Hmm.
just like if we're gonna give these guys props and say whatever, how many records they broke, and then we have to say Michael Jordan It was a more physical basketball game, son. It was
Period.
fights. It was, even though I could say this year in the NBA, I see dudes ready to fight way more. So the NBA, I'm not saying I want them to fight, but that just means that the game is that intense because that's where it always been. Pride. Dudes letting it, like back in the days, really even more. Like they just made the rules about the flagrant two, three, all that. You trying to
Mm-hmm.
cook and give up 20 points, they're gonna hit you one time, you go in the middle and send you to the locker room. That's just how it was. Michael Jordan had to deal with that, bro. For real. Like, and he
So
was
what are
straight
we
into his business, sticking his tongue out.
right? Like what are we even talking about? It's not the same. You cannot compare two things that are not the same.
Hitting him with the.
Sorry, guys.
Remember, Mike was going with the in between the leg.
Yeah,
Then he just hit you, and then walk back like this with the jog, laughing at you like.
I do. I do. I remember it very well.
I'm watching
It's a
Mike clips. You
great
young
time to be
guys,
alive.
pull up. Where it was a great time, even though it wasn't a great time to be a Knicks fan. Because I said you wasn't a Knicks fan when Mike came to the Hawk
Come on,
Garden and
give me a
had
break.
55.
Give me a break. Give me
When
a break
Mike came
tonight,
to the
please.
Garden and had 55, or maybe you were just a youngin' and you wasn't alive.
Will, give me a break. Okay?
Mm.
Give me a break.
I'm just
Can
saying
we
though, you want to give Jordan props. You was a Knicks fan then. I know you was.
I was. I was. I
It
was
was
with my
more saddening.
dad.
It was more saddening. No, I know.
It
That's what I'm saying. It was
was,
more.
but
I
it
know. You
it,
just
it
was happy to
was.
see it with your eyes pure, like see Jordan do that in the Garden, like. But I wasn't a fan of that. I couldn't be a Chicago. I couldn't really be a Jordan fan. I felt like because I'm a Knicks fan, so now that's why I give so much grace. I never talk bad, but I never. I mean, we didn't have podcasts. We couldn't talk, but to around my people, it's be like, yeah, I like Mike, but he used to just do us dirty so much. I'd be like.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't, yeah, like it was like I didn't know how to feel. I was a kid, like you know what I'm saying? He's so good. Why he ain't on
Like,
my
what do you
team?
say?
And all these
you
dudes with to be Bulls fans. I should look at them like, yo, bro, I'm ready to just you a bull you coming to the park with bull shorts on, bro? It was this one kid from the hood. Everybody know this kid. Everybody know this kid. This one kid from the hood. His name was Air Birdo. Everybody know him. If they know me from the hood with bull, they should know him. He was from Bayswater. He a little older than me, and I would tell you this. This shit funny. This man copied Jordan walk. He ain't even had to be playing. He would walk like Jordan. Like we used to be like, yo, what's wrong with you? But when he got on that court, he mastered every move and started to just do everything like Mike. I swear to you.
That is what you call, ladies and gentlemen, influence.
Yeah, and yeah, right, and that's the whole
Influence.
moral of the
That's
story
the
is right. Hold on, right, moral of the story is
that's
good
the
work,
reason why
kid.
we still talking about
Moral
it.
of the story is he was influenced by Mike heavy. Anybody from Far Rock that might watch this show, y'all know Birdo was heavily influenced by Mike. He had to walk. But look, I don't know if Walter White is still here. If you is, bro, we appreciate your question. Knicks versus Thunder. What do you think? Being that we move past that, let's answer his question. You don't
Mr.
want to answer it?
White, no, it's not that I want to answer. I don't have an answer. I
I
I
said
don't
I think
know.
they're gonna win.
You
Mr.
did.
White, Walter, I said I think they're gonna win because I think they like they bounce back, and I think Nick fans like my co-host, they get a little too hurt when we lose, but I'm used to it because we're not gonna win every game. But you always have to ask yourself, are we a good team? And that's why I brought up we won the cup. I try to mention certain things, right? Are we a good team? Yes, we are. And what I mean by that is they could go in there and beat OKC. It's not like that's something where we like a team that's at the bottom. We in the third seed. So we can't be too far fetched with it. I think we beat them this year. Or we lost by one, I think. It was a very
We
good
lost by
game.
one. Mm-hmm. It
It was a very
was a
good
great
game. We
game.
lose by
Mm-hmm.
1 point, and we missed how many free throws? We had how many turnovers? That's the stat line that they look at, and they prepare for the next time they see OKC and try to limit those things. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I think we're gonna win that game, and we can move on from that because we kind of past the Knicks already. We are way down there now with Michael Jordan, and you was finished on your take.
Mm-hmm.
I think we mentioned. I like how you brought that up because that was a good point because the conversation just goes 360 because he's just heavily influenced LeBron, the whole world. He's how many kids in China know how to do every Jordan move too? So it's like, come on, man. And LeBron, you have fans. You're very big. You're a mega star, billionaire, and all that. But you got to understand, Jordan did this without an internet, bro. He didn't have a phone and could just look at videos all day and scroll, and he was still that big. That's just a little, you know what I mean? And that's it, bro. You know what I mean? We moving right along. We moving right along. All right. Hova. We're gonna talk about Hova. Jay-Z interview. And it's funny how this is why I wanted to talk about this, because my Jordan take is similar to my Jay-Z take. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. He's the GOAT. And a lot of people try to say this, that, the same thing. It's just basketball is different. So they compare themselves to Mike. But Jay-Z's in the rap game, and these guys compare themselves to Hov. He's one of the GOATs of the rap game. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like um, Jay-Z do a lot of business. I'm not too sure if it's good or bad, but I do know that it got to be pretty good if he say he made all them people billionaires. You know, I mean, I could say it better. Like, I'm sure it's some things that people don't agree with. You know what I'm saying? Because that's part of
Mm-hmm.
business. But
Mm-hmm.
Jay Z is a great businessman. He made a lot of people successful from New York City. You know, him and his wife. You already know how big these guys are. So I always have a lot of respect for Hove. The interview, to me, I feel like they went in depth about certain things, and I think you probably watched more than me. So I'm gonna let you go, and it's gonna help refresh what I know about the interview. Is that cool?
Yes, it is. That's fine.
Okay, you take over right now. Go ahead.
Um,
What you thought about the interview?
you know, I have to be honest. Jay-Z is a peculiar lad to me. And so I'm actually a little bit opposing what you're feeling. But when it comes down to it, like with what you mentioned,
Hmm.
the way that he did business, there's some variables there. But when you look at his growth, the way that he carries himself when he does speak, he is about progress. And he also is a rapper that has influence as well, like a lot. Like, I remember this is when I knew, like, whoa, this was a moment when there was actually like an attraction where people would go and pay to view the Marcy projects, the perimeter of the housing projects, and pay for that just simply because people were thinking, wow, this is where Jay-Z lived. So when I saw that, I said to myself, you know what? That's influence, like it or not, because I I actually happened to what left a bad taste in my mouth with Jay was the way that the deals was looking with Dame. And there's a lot of variables in that as well. And I'm not even gonna go there. But when we talk about Jay-Z, being a human
You don't like that he
and
left Dame? You don't like that he left Dame?
no, I don't mind that he left him. I
Hmm.
don't. I think that they just didn't do
Why did?
business right.
So how
Um
could you fault just him for that?
no, I don't.
I'm just curious. No, you
I don't.
mentioned it, so I just wanted to elaborate because that is
So
a
I'm
good
sorry, let me
part.
reiterate what
That's a
I'm
good
saying.
conversation. I mean, we're not gonna shift to it, but when you talk about Jay, they don't really
Mhm.
talk about Dame. So I appreciate that you mentioned it. I just wanted you to elaborate on why you feel that way, because I used to feel that way, to
Mhm.
be honest with you, but I don't anymore
Okay.
because I see how Dame carry himself, and I do see how Jay carry himself the way you spoke of.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I kind of lost the feeling to feel bad for Dame. That's why I try not to speak the way I used to speak, because when you start to speak a certain way, people ain't gonna really support that. and you don't really know that because you speaking out of anger. So I feel like Dame Dame needed to get over it on his own, like you know what I mean, so he could
Mm-hmm.
speak properly about the situation because it's a hurtful thing. You see somebody you down with that get all the success, and you know you had the blueprint
Right.
first, and
Mm-hmm.
then you not a part of it. Let me tell you what I used to say. It's funny we talking about this. I used to really agree and think the way you thought about what you just said. Because I used to say it would be dope if Jay-Z spent the block and just got him. Because it was like Jay-Z went and got Biggs. He went and got everybody. It was like Biggs got locked up for he said it, Biggs, they never would have pinched you for that load. He talking about Biggs got knocked for the weed before weed was legal. Jay-Z went right and got him when he came home. He's down with Rock Nation. He been down with Rock Nation. His
Mm-hmm.
other man, his other OG, damn, what's my man name? Can't think of my man name right now. But it's this other J Real OG. It's gonna come to me before we get off, and I'll tell y'all. He came home, he got right down. So why I'm telling you this is because if that's me and I go and grab everybody
Mm-hmm.
and I leave
Mm-hmm.
certain people,
I want
it's
to hear
more, it's
this.
more, it's more reasoning behind it that we
Well,
don't
I
know about.
think
Like it's an
right.
outside world and it's an inside
I
world.
was gonna say
And a
it's
lot of my time,
perception and it's reality.
and it's
You know.
reality, right? So a lot of my time in the industry, I learned that. Like what people be thinking out there is not really what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And people are entitled to their opinion, but they just fans. And
And they
fans is
don't
short for
know.
fanatics. They
Right.
short for fanatics. Some people don't even know what fans are short for.
Yeah. They.
That's why some people don't even want to call themselves a fan. I'm not a fanatic. I just support
Neither
the
am
team.
I.
No, I'm just saying, think about that
Mm-hmm.
though, right? It's some
Yeah.
real
Yeah.
shit. I'm gonna clip
Prince
that.
was the one who actually brought that to my attention. He said, "I don't like referring to the people who have allegiance to me as fans because fan is short for fanatic. No one
Right.
should be a fanatic of another human. Sorry. If
Thank
you're
you.
going to be a
Hold on. Let me
fanatic of
let
something,
me let me get
be a
some of this.
fanatic of God."
That's for me though, cause I said it first, so this is for
You
me.
did. You did. That's for you.
I said that's for me. I'm just playing. I'm just
No,
playing.
that's
Come on.
that's for you. You could take that,
I'm just
but
playing. I'm just
I
playing.
I definitely feel the same exact way. But we
Yeah.
fall into the fanfare and we say things because it's catchy or whatever. But
Yeah.
you know, w- just getting back to what you were asking me about Jay Z, I definitely feel like there is a perception and a reality. I definitely am aware of that. I've heard
Mm-hmm.
it and I've seen it, and there's other things that lead me to think like about him, but listen, overall, as a black man from Marcy Projects, as a billionaire, depending on where you stand with that, that's a great thing for him. He has influenced a lot of people. He's made a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people want to do things similar to what he has done. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Not really sure if we're seeing that now. And I think it's because Jay-Z is so elusive. Like he doesn't really give interviews anymore, like in his later age. um, but I respect that because I think that he's just at a point where he's not about the rap. He's about, if he wants to drop something, he will. If he doesn't, he doesn't.
That's
Like I remember
greatness.
when he
That's
made a statement, like
greatness.
I could go wood and fall on a ton of money, I think he said. And, like, cause I'm kind of iffy, like when it comes to money, cause money isn't everything to me. But
Mm-hmm.
when you look at it, when you come from where he came from, that's that's success. That's the way that you quantify success. So if that's your quantification and that's your measuring stick, then that's success for you. For me, what I'm happy to see is that he was able to make a family, and his family grew. And it's nice to see that as a black woman, to see that black people are able to do that, because I grew up watching the Huxtables, and it was like that was the prototype of what I wanted. So that's what, that I'm just going to stay positive with this. I don't
Can
want
I
to.
say something? I want to say
Yes.
something. You see how you said what you said and then you jumped into the Huxtables,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
Well, the Huxtables, I mean, Jay-Z only could see the Huxtables, right?
Mhm.
So Jay-Z's life, he made it bigger than anybody he ever seen. And I think that the point I'm making is for a black person, this is
Mm-hmm.
really what it really is. Bigger than this is bigger than everything to
Tell
me.
us, Will, what is it?
For a black person, he's in a different he's on a different he's like
He is.
he took it to a place that people never did when you start to break down. Now, this is why I said my opinions are parallel and are similar to the Jordan, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
of the economy. All he did was he put artists on, made money with them, but Rihanna's a billionaire. Kanye West is a billionaire, right? And this is another thing people don't remember. Jay-Z didn't want Kanye West to be a rapper. Dame Dash put him out because he had a car accident, right? Through the wire.
Correct.
Jay-Z was pissed off. Jay-Z wanted to keep him as a producer. But did Kanye West care about that? He still went and worked with Jay-Z. Remember they was in the Maybach they built on fire and they drive and they did all the songs. So I'm just saying that to say this. It's business at the end of the day. And a lot of people forget that part. It's business. Yeah, we gonna get this money. We family, but the business side, you messing it up. So they cut him out. I think Kanye West do certain things for Dame Dash. Like, Kanye West
Mm-hmm.
is a real generous guy. He even gave Game, I think, Maybachs.
Sorry.
So Kanye West do show Dame love on some of his projects and try to help him out. But I just feel like Jay-Z did something that I didn't even think he would do, you know, and to be black and to reach that level of success. That's what I was trying to say is like to me it's crazy and you got to look up to it and respect it because when you leave out the country and you go, the world is big, right? He's a black man that's highly respected
Mm-hmm.
and people respect him for things that we respect him for, right? But they respect him for the money and the accomplishments. If he didn't have the money, he wouldn't be able to go in the rooms or go to these places and be treated like that. And then his wife. So I think that's another part that people gotta give them credit for because it's very hard to keep them two type of relationships, them two type of people in a relationship to
Mm-hmm.
be megastars. So that's my take on Hove. We just went into the little bit about Dame, and I'm glad I gave my take on Dame. Shout out to Dame. I wish Dame Dash the best too, though.
Me
I ain't
too.
got nothing against him. I just feel like sometimes people get left behind because of how they act. How you speak, and he still speaks that way at this age.
Mm-hmm.
And Jay-Z doesn't. But like I said, it's part of he has to get over his anger so he don't sound that way. And I think more doors are open for him.
I hope so. I hope so. He definitely has the mindset to work, and I believe he has a decent moral ethic code from what I see. And again, I want to emphasize perception versus reality. And overall as an individual, because I follow him kind of close on IG, and a lot of things that he says make sense, and it makes sense to me. And I respect it because of who he is and what he was, what I viewed him as when I was much younger. And I, you know, there is such a thing, like, will we talk backstage, and we talk
Hmm.
about these things.
Yeah.
What's bad for business, what's not good for business. Even me, to a point where it's like, okay, I feel a little censored because I have these feelings, but you have to do the business right. The business part has to be right, and you know if it doesn't align with my spirit, then I'm not going to do it. But I understand that others feel different, and that's really what what I can say in closing about Jay-Z. That, like, there's some things that he was a part of that I just was like, but as far as being just like what you said, being a black person, and being able to sit at certain tables that he's sat at, that's an amazing feat. And I am proud of him
Yeah.
for that. I
Hmm.
am.
Yeah,
I am.
I mean, look, you could bring up some things, or I could bring up some things and make you say, hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I
But
do.
we keeping it
Yeah,
surface, you know? Yeah.
it's fine. I mean, that's what opinions are. People say things and make you look at it different. There's nothing wrong with that. And then you can appreciate looking at, it's like somebody changing my mind. That's why I ain't say nothing bad about Dame. I just don't feel bad for him because you get out of life what you put in. And when you look back at years back, we could do research. And I don't need to do research because I followed this stuff all my life. I
Mhm.
seen him arguing with this exec, disrespecting this exec, doing this. Sometimes you have a lot of money, you think you bigger than life. And the, and,
Yeah.
the, and the real story is for the people that don't know, Lear Cohen is one of the guys that own YouTube. And Lear Cohen is the guy that did that to Dame. Lear Cohen is the guy who got Jay-Z to leave Rockefeller and made them do the split. And because he offered Jay-Z all of his rights to his music, and that was unheard of to give get your masters.
Yeah. For a rap
So
artist, it was unheard
th-
of.
they was playing chess with Jay-Z,
Mhm.
and they gave Jay-Z, but they was smart. Let me tell you why. They basically let Jay-Z be the president, and this is the part where I felt bad about Dame. I'm gonna share this.
Okay.
They let Jay-Z be the president at Def Jam. So I always used to say that Rockefeller would have been Def Jam because Dame wouldn't have let those artists go to Def Jam. So when Jay left and they gave him his masters, Def Jam knew he was gonna bring the artists to Def Jam and they was gonna recoup the money because Jay-Z had the eye and for talent, or the people that had talent wanted to come and work under Jay-Z. Jay-Z didn't even have to find Rick Ross or all the artists that really did well for Def Jam under Jay-Z. J.
Mhm.
Cole, it's a lot of people. So Def Jam was playing chess. They knew they could let Jay-Z have that little money because they're gonna recoup that plus some money. But they wanted Dame out of the picture.
Yeah. Yep.
So I'm just sharing that with y'all to let y'all know, like, money can divide your friends in a group.
Oh,
When you're
yes.
talking about a lot of money, like your masters to your music. So, like I said a little while ago, I felt like I wish Jay-Z would have spent the block and just showed them dudes that, yeah, y'all think y'all, cause he know what really what how like how he feel about that too, probably inside, like what they did. So if he would have spun the block and picked up Dame, that was how simple it could have been. And you could have gave Dame 50 million, cause that ain't nothing to you. Here with your money back. You would have had more than that, but just take that. I'm just saying. Because the dudes that did that, they was the ones that played y'all. Divide and conquer. Look, the main point I'm making is they were intimidated not by Dame, by what Rockefeller was about to do.
Mhm.
And Def Jam wouldn't have been shit. Think about that. And that's
Yeah,
all I
and they
want to
had to
say.
be feeling it. They had to be. You know, when
They
you
had to
look at
make a
it,
move. They
they
had to
had
make a
to.
move.
They had
Right.
to.
Because
And like you
Rockefeller was
said,
hot. So
it
Rihanna would have been on
was.
there. Rihanna, Rick, everybody would have been on Rockefeller because that's Jay-Z's shit. But nope, now he's Def Jam and there's no more Rockefeller. So there you have it.
No,
I
I
know
agree
all
with you
about
with
that shit. I
that.
said we could do a whole story about that because a lot of people don't know. That's another thing we need to start doing content on, that kind of stuff, because it's footage if they go back and look for it, but that's not on your timeline. And why would that be in their mind? Maybe because Jay-Z's interview, but they ain't talking about Dame. But these are things that people don't know. I'm just telling you. I know you know a little about it, but I'm just saying a lot of
Yeah.
people that may run across the content and we make shorts, people don't know. I'm just saying.
Right.
And I don't have to
Right.
look it up to know it. So,
Something to think about for us. I would love to
yeah,
do
yeah.
it.
Yeah, we could. I'm just saying, general, we could create content like that, and we
Mhm.
could definitely do that story. Because I think it needs to be elaborated on a little bit more to show that we don't want this to happen again. You know what I mean? It's not right, even though we know he was his own demise. We admitted
Mhm.
that already, but it's
Mhm.
not right. I don't think it's right. I'm just a person that don't always agree with that. I don't care what's right when I make a decision. I just feel like I don't care what y'all think. It may not seem right to y'all, but he's not coming because y'all don't really know what else he did. That's why I
right?
say
You
y'all don't know
guys,
the inside things, right? Y'all on the outside looking in. So
you
you can't tell people that they're really being wrong when they make those decisions. That's why I said I feel bad, but I can't feel sorry because
hmm
I understand those dynamics. But that's all I have to say.
yeah, we don't have the correct vantage points, you know, and then sometimes, unfortunately, when Dame speaks, you know, depending on what it is, and much respect to him,
He in his
depending
feelings,
on what
Chris.
it
Nobody can express themselves right in their feelings.
that's you're in my head. That
I'm
was the part
helping
that I
you.
was gonna say. You're in my head. My literal next sentence was gonna be he let
You was
the
stuttering. You was
emotional
stuttering. I try to help you. I'm
component.
like, I'm your point guard. I'm like,
No,
yeah,
it was there. The emotional because you can see it. Like even now
yeah.
when he speaks on it, the emotional component drained the logic, and that's just what happened. And it
But that's some hard shit to
happens.
deal with, Chris. I'm sorry. I understand his emotion. I just
What?
don't agree with it. I wouldn't want to be deal with that. I would have crashed out. So I'm not really knocking him. I'm just saying.
I'm not knocking him
I'm
either. I'm
yeah,
not.
this shit
But it's
serious and
just it's
shit.
just hard to see. It's hard to see. It's hard to look at. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
this
I agree.
now what we see is an astute individual that is really really serious about owning his own things and stuff like that. And it's like, what happened, Dame? Like what we needed you to be that back then. What I mean, I guess okay, you get slapped and you learn, or you get burnt by the fire and you learn, and now you learned your lesson. But how did you let it get to this point?
Nah,
But, you know,
Chris, they
that's
could
another
take you the
episode.
fuck out this. Chris, you could get taken the fuck out of anything. And I just broke down how they took him
No,
out.
absolutely. What I'm saying is,
Cause
no,
it's a chess
right.
move.
You
That's a
said why they
chess
took
move.
him out. But I'm just
You
saying,
sacrifice your you
but you
sacrifice a
were
piece on
in.
the board.
You were in.
No,
Right.
he
But you were
wasn't in.
in.
No, he was it. He was it. See, when people are it, when you the shit, sometimes your shit can
You
stink
start
too
to
much for
think.
you. Look, listen. When you do shit like that, you know what
Horrible.
happens?
Horrible.
People bend behind the scenes. Like you don't know if other people put their money up to help them even get
Uh-huh.
the money together to give Jay-Z his masters. Because that was a big move. But they wanted to get rid of him, not just because they didn't like him. His ideas and all the artists and everything he was doing was about to be out of this world. Kanye was his artist. Kanye took over the world. That's a
He
perfect way
did.
to put it. But like I said,
Shout out to
we could
Kanye.
talk for a long time on this. It was a great conversation. We actually been on for an hour and 12 minutes. Let me
We
give us
have.
a round of applause because it went pretty fast. Act like they don't want to clap for us, right? It's a
I never said like this.
two clap. Yeah, like, yo, don't play with me, man. Word up,
Don't
gang
play
gang.
with us.
Word up. You got anything else to say before we get up out of here?
Nope. I just want to shout out everybody who came up in the comments, everybody who came and tuned in with us. Thank you so much for doing that. If you have gotten to this point,
Let the niggas know, man. Let the
if
niggas know.
you have gotten to this point, please give us
Please
a like
subscribe.
and subscribe
Thank you very
and
much.
share the content, please.
Hey, yo, Queens, get the money long.
And we out of here. You already know Queen's been taking all the money. Huh? Oh, my bad. I tried to end it.